Chief Bullhead, arriving.
Hey, you falling asleep in the back? Get up and stand up before you miss some good information, mate. Hardy. Haha.
Chapter 2. All military branches, structure, and reserve components. Overview of U.S. military branches. The United States Armed Forces consists of 6 military service branches. 5 operate under the Department of Defense, DoD. The Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Space Force. The Coast Guard normally operates under the Department of Homeland Security, but can be transferred to the Department of the Navy during wartime. Branch-by-branch summary. Branches consist of the active component, the reserve component, and LOD regulations for Army, Active Army, Army Reserve, USAR, Army National Guard, ARNG, Army Regulation 600-8-4. Navy, Active Navy, Navy Reserve, USNR, Section of Instruction 1770.3. Marine Corps, Active Marines, Marine Corps Reserve, USMCR. Marine Corps Order 5800.16. Air Force, Active Air Force, Air Force Reserve, AFRC, Air National Guard, ANG. Air Force Instruction 36-2910. Space Force, Active Space Force, Guardians, no reserve component yet, DoD Manual 1332.18. Coast Guard, Active Coast Guard, Coast Guard Reserve, USCGR. Commed Instruction M1000.3. Active Duty versus Reserve or National Guard. Key LOD differences. Understanding whether you are active duty or reserve/guard is foundational because it determines how the LOD process affects your benefits. The key distinctions are: military category, active duty, reserve, National Guard, or Air National Guard. LOD status. Reserve members are presumed in LOD automatically, which must be formally documented. TRICARE coverage is continuous while on active duty, but only during duty or if LOD approved. Is a LOD form required? Yes, even if misconduct, being AWOL, or if existed prior to service is suspected. Yes, a line of duty is always required. IDES, Integrated Disability Evaluation System. Eligibility is triggered by a medical profile, P3, P4. A P3 or P4 medical profile, DA Form 3349, indicates a service member has significant or severe permanent medical conditions that prevent worldwide deployment and likely do not meet medical retention standards. These profiles, often lasting longer than 12 months, trigger a mandatory medical evaluation board, MEB, to determine fitness for duty and potential disability separation or retirement, and requires an approved LOD first. INCAP pay is non-applicable if already receiving military pay. Incapacitation pay replaces lost civilian income during your recovery. The 8-year rule applies after 8 cumulative years of active duty. The same rule applies if 8+ years of active service. The 8-year rule typically refers to the total military service obligation, MSO, but a specific 8-year rule regarding disability applies to service members with over 8 years of active service, not necessarily continuous, who may qualify for disability compensation, even for pre-existing conditions. This differs from the standard 8-year military service obligation, which mandates that all service members serve a total of 8 years combined active duty, reserve, or individual ready reserve, IRR, time. Key points regarding the 8-year mark in the military. MSO, or Military Service Obligation. By law, which is Title 10 of the United States Code 651, all individuals entering the armed forces incur an 8-year total obligation. Active versus inactive ready reserve. If a service member leaves active duty before 8 years, they are typically transferred to the inactive ready reserve, the IRR, to complete the remainder of their 8-year contract. Medical rule, 8+ years. Soldiers with more than 8 years of active federal service who are processed for disability may have their pre-existing conditions, existing prior to service, or EPTS, considered for disability retirement. Non-regular retirement. According to DoD Instruction 1215.07, Cumulative active duty time in 90-day increments can reduce the age required to receive retired pay below the age of 60.
Hey, I know this stuff is boring, but you gotta know this stuff. You gotta watch all these. You gotta watch them. You gotta know this stuff. This is about your benefits. Damn!
Chief Bullhead, departing.